Hello everyone! So there's been a lot of important fixed TF2 developments recently, so important in fact that I had to crank out that old thumbnail design again. I'm very sorry, but I didn't do it without good cause. So yeah, there's been a lot of updates when it comes to fixed TF2, mostly good, some bad, so I'm going to cover it in order of priority. So we're going to be starting with the most urgent matter and then working our way down to just small updates and things like that. So, the title, the thumbnail, let's talk about it. Signature collection for the fixed TF2 protest closes July 1st. This should not be news to most of you, however I also wanted to make a video on it because this should not be news to anyone. Everyone should know this is the date that signature collection ends and we need to get our signatures in before that. The plan is currently that signature collection will end July 1st and the signatures will be delivered in August. I don't think we were given a date in August by the Watch Show on Twitter, so we can assume it's probably somewhere around early to mid-August. So yes, I think now is probably the best time to close the signature collection, because there have probably been a lot of joke, prank and sabotage signatures, and well, the people who are going to have to sort through them are going to need all the time in the world. So I think now is probably the best time to close it. I do think we could have had a little bit more of a heads up, mayhaps a week, as we were only really given about 4 or 5 days, but I'm going to assume by now everyone has got their signatures in. So if anyone here is like me and tunes into Zob for their daily dose of fixed TF2 updates, you would have seen the pattern that every day it seems the signatures increase by about 1,000 only. That is still a lot of people, however that has been the maximum increase for a very long time right now, only spiking to 2,000 yesterday because of the bot removal, more on that later. So I think we've hit our pretty consistent signature collection pace, and therefore I think now is probably the best time to can it in. Now here's where I have something new to share with you, as I actively tried to find out what the signature collection end date would be for myself a little bit ago. So 11 days ago, as of recording this video, Shulk was on livestream, and he made an off comment saying that they might be ending the signature collection within about 2 weeks. So I decided to add him on Twitter and ask, do we have an official date yet? And, well, he didn't respond. So I instead went to one of the main organisers of the fixed TF2 protest on Discord. I'm not going to name him because I haven't asked him for permission to name him, and the reason I haven't asked him for permission to name him is because right now I think the thing he needs the most is just some rest, and I think he needs to be left alone. And he said if he has to guess, it will probably be somewhere between 1 to 2 months from now being the 21st of June. He then explained that the initial plan for the signature collection date was that it would end after the summer boycott, so that everything could be delivered in one package basically. We later find, however, from the Watch Show's tweet that this plan was eventually changed. So yes, the fixed TF2 signature collections, from one of the main leaders themselves, were originally planned to end in 1 to 2 months' time. This could have been just an off comment or something that maybe he had said and hadn't really planned out with everyone else, so I don't blame him in the slightest, but I'm very glad things didn't go down that route, because as I said earlier, we need to strike whilst the iron is hot. And at the end of a boycott, people are going to be down, they are not going to be up. So now is the best time to can it in, and now I think was a pretty good time to announce the doing so of. So I have 2 more things to talk about in this video, the lack of bots and why it is so, which I'm going to be covering first, and then the next one is a bit of an out of character critique from me towards the way the fixed TF2 movement has been run by the people running it. And I actively think that is the most important section of this video, so if you want to skip to that, you can find it in the category below. So, 16,000 bots were banned the other day. You can currently play TF2. This is the first time we have legitimately been able to play TF2. I don't have enough fingers to count the amount of days. It feels great. There are still some bots that slip through the cracks. However, it seems Valve has actively started to do the treadmill work. We all know what treadmill work refers to by now, and we were all worried that when this huge ban wave hit, it was just going to be a one and done thing. However, in the previous days since that ban wave, Valve has actively been updating things. We now have a new page on Steam dedicated to the TF2 ban wave. Various botters have been posting everywhere online that all of their accounts have been gone, even their personal ones. Actual game bans have been issued, hardware bans have been issued. And all of this has come because of our fixed TF2 movement. So I want to tell you to be insanely happy that these things have happened, go and play TF2 now, but I also want to remind you not to spend any money yet, and to not get your hopes up yet. These are changes, these are fantastic changes, but these are not the treadmill work that needs to happen. The bot crisis is not something you can one and done fix. botters will be back in full swing relatively soon. The only fix to this is for Valve to commit to fixing their anti-cheats, and it seems they are making the strides to doing so, yet obviously nothing is permanent yet. So I want you to be happy, I want you to play TF2 and have fun with your friends, but at the same time, I want you to be cautiously optimistic to not give up the original goal of the fixed TF2 protest, and especially not spend any money. So let's quickly derail and talk about the boycott. We are still going ahead with the boycott for the summer update, if and only if things aren't entirely fixed by then. Which I'm going to let you know off the first bat. They're not. There might be some more changes related to bots in the works of Valve, but we don't know that yet, and therefore we're going to boycott until we know that. Until an actual line of communication is opened up between the community and the developers of the game, we will be boycotting. We will not be spending any money, we will not be buying any taunts, hats, or anything. And I've spoken to a lot of people about the boycott, and a lot of people have this mentality of, oh well, I'm allowed to buy something just because it's one drop in the ocean. But if everybody puts a drop into the ocean, sea levels will flood and it will be irreversible damage. So we all need to have the mentality of not buying anything from the Steam store, from the community market, all of the stuff like that. Now, I personally think this should be a Steam-wide boycott. However, I utterly understand you are not going to get the entire Steam user base on board for something like this. So the best thing and the most realistic goal we could have is to only boycott TF2 and nothing else. A lot of the YouTubers involved in the fixed TF2 protest have been getting a lot of hate when it comes to talking about the boycott. I'm going to assume you know what I'm referring to, but I want to let you know that the idea of a boycott is fairly unrealistic in the grand scheme of things. Yes, a boycott should have been launched at the very beginning of the fixed TF2 protest, but at the same time, I utterly understand why we are waiting for the summer update. It makes sense, and I need people to understand where others are coming from and not just get blindly angry because it's not being done the way you want it to. So yes, even with these changes that have been made, we are still going ahead with the boycott. That is still happening, and I will still be making a video on that because, well, I would like this to be the last fixed TF2 video I make. If everything else is perfect and the treadmill work is fully committed to, I really, really want this to be the last fixed TF2 video I make, because I want to be able to play TF2. So yeah, keep an eye on Twitter, keep an eye on the YouTubers involved, and we'll see how the boycott goes. Now, the last thing I want to talk about in this video is a bit of a somber critique of the way things have been run. I know none of the YouTubers involved are going to see this, and therefore I'm going to address it to you and not necessarily them. Simply put, this protest should have been run better. Throughout this section, I'm not going to parrot the arguments of, famous angry men and all sorts of things like that. You know the one I'm talking about, I don't even have to say his name. But as the world's biggest fixed TF2 enthusiast, I can utterly admit that things should have been run better. What is the number one reason for our anger towards Valve? Is it the bots? Is it the monetization of the game? Is it the lack of development? No, it's the lack of communication. Valve does not let us know what they are working on, and that makes us angry because it makes us think they aren't working on anything. Now, let's apply that logic to the fixed TF2 protest. The viewers and the fixed TF2 fans have been rightfully angry due to the lack of communication from the actual people running the protest. Granted, there was communication early on. Whilst there were big updates, there was big communication. Yet, as the updates started to fall off slightly, the communication did as well. And this was the number one thing that did not need to happen. When the updates for the fixed TF2 movement fall off, the communication needs to go up in spades. This did not happen, this should have happened. Now allow me to throw the good old bone of apology, because in the What Show's tweet, he admitted that they apologise for the lack of communication, and there have been various other things going on behind the scenes that they cannot talk about. Now, this is a very, very valid reason for not wanting to communicate with the audience. If there are various things that you have planned that you cannot tell people because bad actors would get a wind of it, then that makes sense. However, you should have told us that from the beginning. Please note that I am not hating on any of the people directly involved in TF2. This is not a criticism of who they are or anything like that. I think they make fantastic content. I think they are great people. This is simply a criticism of the way the movement has been run. If there are things going on behind the scenes that you cannot tell us there are things that are going on behind the scenes that you cannot tell us. Do not just go quiet. A lot of the content creators involved were consistently active on Twitter, maybe like once or twice a week. But that's not where your audience is. These are YouTubers. Their audience is on YouTube. Obviously, I get it. It takes time to run a movement like this. It takes time to rally an entire community of thousands. But a simple 10-minute update video would have done. I understand that running everything takes time, yet your main audience is not Twitter. No one is going to see your tweets. They are going to see your videos, and that's where your main focus should be when it comes to updates. You should have been making tweets and videos. You should have made a quick, tweet saying, oh, here's what's going on, and then a really, really cheap, low-quality effort video just talking about what's going on. We don't want quality when it comes to FixTF2. We want news. So in a weird sense, I'm the world's biggest FixTF2 enthusiast, yet I'm also a supporter of the people who got angry at the lack of communication. I think things should have been run better. I know there's lots going on behind the scenes, but we should have been told that much, much earlier. Okay, well, I have a bit more to say on the matter, but I think I'm probably going to squash that, as I think this video, I think I've covered basically everything else I want to say. I don't think there's any point in talking about anything else. If any of the YouTubers did end up watching this, I'm very sorry. However, some of the things and the way that the movement has been run haven't really been acceptable, and, but I think everyone knows that, so I think it's okay. So, water under the bridge? Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thank you for, sticking with me throughout this FixTF2 stuff. I made a lot of FixTF2 videos, and at one point I got to the point where I didn't want to make any more. I asked my community, they told me they wanted to keep going, and I did. And I don't like making these videos. I want to make silly hat videos, but I want FixTF2 to work. And I actively feel I'm in a position where I can contribute to FixTF2 because of my small audience. So, thank you everyone for watching my videos, and thank you for being involved in FixTF2. We're not done yet. We've made some fantastic strides, but we're not done yet. And with that being said, I have nothing else to say. Thank you very much everyone for watching. Please don't spend any money on Valve. Be happy, but be cautious, and I will see you later down the sunny road.